Hey everybody, it's Rob with Vanguard Realty Alliance. Today I'm going to be talking with Doug McConnell from Vanguard Settlement Services about what is title insurance in PA, why do you need it, how much does it cost, all that good stuff. So let's get into it. Hey Doug, how's it going, man?
I'm well, Rob. How are you?
Good, good, good. So Doug, I know you've done a few titles. You're part of Vanguard Settlement Services, correct?
Correct.
And how many titles are you processing a year right now?
We just closed our 228th this year.
Let me ask you the first question because not everybody knows what title is on a house. I mean, I know like I've had to deal with like title on a car. So tell me, what does title on a house even mean?
So it's the same general premise. It's your ownership of car, home, whatever the case may be. In our case, we do home title, we do the search, we do the commitment, gathering all the information to make sure that your ownership, when that deed's recorded in your name, nothing's going to compromise your ownership of property.
So when you hold title to something, that means you own it, basically, right?
You are the owner, correct. And once that county puts their recording marks on the deed, you are the legal owner.
Okay, so I'm told when I buy a house, I got to get title insurance. So why do I need insurance to own the property?
Well, you want to make sure that the people that currently own the home that you're buying from, their mortgage gets paid off, that they've paid their taxes, that they've paid the sewer bills, they have paid their income tax, that the IRS could put a tax lien on the property that would attach to it that you don't want to have to pay yourself. We go through the A to Z to make sure that when we get the settlement, it's yours. So we check mortgages, we check the owner's names, we check prior owners' names, and nobody wants that surprise of you're going to refinance and they find out there's a $20,000 inheritance tax bill on the property because they bought without title insurance.
Yeah.
A very good example we have, we just went through this where it was a refinance transaction. There was a mortgage from a prior owner that was showing on the property for $70,000. Luckily, the borrowers bought the home with title insurance. We were able to go back to their title insurance agent, say, look, we have this property, this mortgage that should have been paid off when they bought it. It wasn't. And the prior agent that provided the insurance gave us a letter saying, yes, if this issue ever comes up, we will address it, make the owners whole so that nothing compromises their ownership. So if they had bought it without title insurance, they could have potentially been liable for the $70,000 mortgage that was out there.
Wow. Yeah. You don't want, if the owner didn't pay their water bill and all of a sudden the water company's coming after you. I know basically, Doug, you kind of do a bunch of research on everything first, and then send it to your underwriter who's going to basically insure that. But he's kind of basing it on you going ahead and doing all that research up front, really, right?
Yes, our underwriters are relying on us to do all the legwork to make sure that when we get the title commitment back, we are checking every box off from 1 to 32, that we've cleared every requirement they have.
And when you do find something, like let's just say you find a second mortgage or whatever, you're making sure that's settled at closing, correct?
Correct. Anything mortgages, unpaid taxes, unpaid municipal bills, all gets collected at the table at settlement, netted from the seller's proceeds.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you make sure everything's basically clean at closing. And I always, we always see each other at closings. You've done almost every single one of the deals that I've done. I know you're doing a lot around the administrative side and just making sure people understand what they're signing and things like that at the closing table, right?
Yes, that's another part of our job is knowing the loan docs. This is the mortgage. This is what it is. This is what it explains. This is why we use this document.
Yeah. Well, I think, the reason I love using you is you just are diligent in making sure everything is correct. And if it's not, you're really quick to fix something. But I'm not trying to even I can hardly even think of a time in all the closings that we've done that's happened. The one thing that's, I think, interesting about title in Pennsylvania, and tell me if I'm wrong, isn't the price of title fixed by the state?
Yes, the PA Department of Insurance sets the pricing for title insurance for non-attorneys. So the nice thing is whether you're going to us, anyone else in the state, it's all the same price. So we're really competing on service, and that's where I really want to make sure we have that above and beyond difference.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I kind of talk to my clients about. I'm like, look, it's fixed by the state. You might as well use this guy. He's amazing. You know, I think this is really helpful in terms of explaining what title is, why you need insurance on it, what you kind of do and what your role is in the whole process, and then explaining how much it costs. I was thinking it might be nice. Is there like an online link we can put in the description on the pricing on title?
Our owners have is a calculator available that you put in, is it a sale? Is it a refinance? What's your loan amount? The kind of different permutations you can have, and it'll give you the exact quote, all that.
I think that'd be really helpful for people, to try to understand closing costs, because I know title is part of closing costs, and closing costs, I have a video on that, but it's kind of a mystery to most people.
Yes, and every lender is different. Whereas for us, it's very much state regulated, very much county regulated for the recording fees. So yeah, it's a much different world.
Well, if anybody has any questions about title insurance, or needs a title agent to help them with closing on their house, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Easiest way is to shoot us an email at Doug@VanguardSettlements.com or Carly, Karley @VanguardSettlements.com. Most people think title is boring, and we want to keep it that way for you.
You're right. You don't want excitement at the settlement table, do you?
No, I tell people you don't want to hear from me until we get to the table.
Well, hey, man, really appreciate your time today and explaining all this to people.
No, I appreciate the opportunity, Rob. Anything we can do to educate the general population on title, since there are a lot of misconceptions, confusion as to what it is. I still have people in my family that don't know exactly what it is that I do, and it's been 5 years now. So
awesome, man. Thanks, Doug.
no problem, Rob. Have a good day.